Coming up next, Field of Dreams, about an Iowa farmer who hears a voice which advises him to build a baseball diamond right there in the cornfield. It's a magical movie, one of the best I've seen this year. It stars Kevin Costner and Amy Madigan as an Iowa farm couple who are just about making ends meet. And then one day, Costner hears a voice out in the field, and it advises him to build a baseball diamond on his farm. Then he sees a vision of the diamond, and the voice hints that if he builds it, shoeless Joe Jackson of the 1919 Black Sox just might come back from the grave to redeem himself and his reputation by playing on it. Costner builds the diamond against everybody's opposition, except that he does have the support of his wife, but it looks like his decision may bankrupt his farm.
Hey, do you realize how much this land is worth?
Yeah. 2,200 bucks an acre.
Oh, you gotta realize you can't keep a useless baseball diamond in the middle of rich farmland.
Another voice tells Costner to take a journey out east and find a great American writer now in seclusion. The writer, played by James Earl Jones, once dreamed of playing baseball.
Start!
Well, what?
Start! New York Giants, 1922. He played one game, never got the bet. He saw it.
What did I see, Ray?
Here's in Minnesota. Man, we were the only ones who saw it. Did you hear the voice, too? It's all right to admit it. It's what told me to find you. Did you hear it?
Later, the two of them travel up to Minnesota, where Costner finds a legendary and saintly doctor, played by Burt Lancaster, who sacrificed his dream of playing in the majors to go into medicine.
Chances squint to the sky so blue that it hurts your eyes just to look at it. To feel the tingle in your arm as you connect with the ball. To run the bases, stretch a double into a triple, and flop face first into third. Wrap your arms around the bag. That's my wish, Rick and Silla. That's my wish.
Well, wouldn't you know, shoeless Joe Jackson does turn up to play once again on that diamond out there in the field. He's played by Ray Liotta.
Ray, I hope you don't mind, but we got tired of just having practices, so we brought another team out with us so we could have some real games.
I don't mind. Where'd they come from?
Where did we come from? You wouldn't believe how many guys wanted to play here. We had to beat them off with a stick.
This is a very hard movie to describe, and that's part of what makes it so good. It's the kind of fantasy that James Stewart or Henry Fonda might have felt at home in. A movie about daring to dream and putting your money where your mouth is. It's also a wonderful baseball movie. The sight of the ghosts of those great old baseball players materializing out of the cornfields to hit a few and field a few, to play one more time, captures in a very special way what is timeless about the game of baseball. Field of Dreams is so fragile and so perfect, it's like a miracle. A completely original and visionary movie about the love of baseball.
Well, I know that that's what it's trying to be, and I certainly wanted it to be that, but it didn't work on me. The fantasy fell apart. Bull Durham, to me, of recent pictures, is to me even more pure about love of baseball. I mean, for me. This is a picture that really tries to pull off a very difficult thing, building that baseball field in the cornfield, and I like the visual look of it. I'll never forget seeing the field in the field. But when it starts to collect the other characters and bring it in, the picture, I think, is just too ambitious for its own good. And it's not bad. It's not a bad film. I just didn't buy the conceit.
See, I really thought it was a very particularly good film. Now, Bull Durham is a realistic film, more or less. I mean, it's more or less in the real world.
Very colorful.
This movie is about the soul of baseball. This is about the intangible, mystical, unspeakable things that people feel when they go to a baseball park, and about the American history that's involved in it. There's one speech in this movie about the history of baseball that literally made a tingle go up my spine because it's so heartfelt. If you love baseball, I think it's a real special movie.
I'm a baseball nut enough to know that they, when they say, there's a very good line they're saying about Ty Cobb not being invited because none of the other players wanted to bring him back. When they bring back all he was my hero, and I was glad that he wasn't a part of that thing. I just think that this conceit here is you either buy it or you don't. It's one of those things, and I didn't buy it. I think they're just trying too hard. Good vote on Field of Dreams, the baseball fantasy. Roger bought the fantasy and considers it a great baseball movie. I disagree. I thought the film tried to cover too many bases.
I really want to put in a strong plug for Field of Dreams. I'm surprised you didn't like it. I think it's really one of the best movies I've seen this year. Okay?